Scream, a forgotten tale of suspense and mystery, directed by Byron Quisenberry, starring Pepper Martin, Hank Worden, and Ethan Wayne. Embark on a chilling journey with the 1981 film Scream, distinctively directed by Byron Quisenberry. This cinematic piece should not be mistaken for Wes Craven's famous Scream franchise of the 1990s. Set against the backdrop of a desolate western ghost town, the story unfolds as a group of weekend hikers, initially embarking on a rafting trip, find themselves inexplicably marooned. Trapped in this eerie locale, they are haunted by a lurking presence that methodically claims their lives, one by one, transforming a supposed leisurely retreat into a harrowing fight for survival. This film is notable for its modest budget and its avant-garde approach to the horror genre, resulting in a polarized reception from audiences and critics alike. Rather than capitalizing on overt gore or suspenseful high stakes, Scream cultivates a haunting, ominous ambience. It employs a deliberate pace and minimalist narrative. The acts of violence are enigmatic, frequently occurring beyond the viewer's sight, and the antagonist's identity and motivations remain shrouded in mystery. This approach has intrigued certain viewers, while leaving others perplexed. Despite its plunge into relative obscurity, Scream 1981 has sustained a status as a cult classic among aficionados of esoteric 1980s horror cinema. Those with an appreciation for unconventional filmmaking techniques will find this film particularly compelling. Its focus on atmosphere rather than plot renders it a peculiar specimen within the horror domain of its era, although it may not capture the universal acclaim necessary to appeal to the casual horror spectator. Rediscover the eerie silence and unsettling stillness of Scream, and decide for yourself if this obscure cinematic endeavor is merely a forgotten echo of its time, or a pioneering precursor to the atmospheric chillers that now pervade the genre. Scanners is a 1981 science fiction horror film directed by the esteemed David Cronenberg, renowned for his distinctive amalgamation of sci-fi themes and visceral body horror. The narrative centers around individuals known as scanners, endowed with formidable telepathic and telekinetic abilities. The protagonist, Cameron Vale, portrayed by Stephen Lack, is a scanner grappling with the control of his powers. As the story unfolds, Vale finds himself ensnared in a conflict between Consec, a corporate security firm, and a renegade scanner named Daryl Revok, played by Michael Ironside. Revok, a powerful and malevolent scanner, leads a faction with intentions of wielding their powers to dominate society. The film is particularly remembered for one of its most iconic scenes, a shocking moment where a scanner's head explodes during a demonstration. This scene not only became infamous, but also cemented Scanners as a cult classic within the horror genre, celebrated especially among enthusiasts of Cronenberg's unique style. The special effects, groundbreaking at the time, employed practical effects to forge intense, visceral imagery that enhances the film's eerie and unsettling tone. Scanners delves into themes of corporate dominance, the perils of unregulated scientific endeavors, and the isolation that accompanies extraordinary abilities. It was pivotal in defining the body horror genre and influenced subsequent Cronenberg works such as Videodrome 1983 and The Fly 1986, which similarly explore the psychological and physical consequences of scientific experimentation on the human psyche and body. Though initially met with mixed critiques, Scanners has since garnered a robust cult following and remains a seminal work in the realms of horror and science fiction cinema. Released on January 14, 1981, Scanners has secured a 67% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a rating of 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. The film generated $14.1 million in revenue against a budget of $4 million. Scanners is currently available for streaming on Max. Blood Beach, a distinguished cult horror film from 1981, was directed by Jeffrey Bloom. Positioned along the scenic beaches of Santa Monica, California, this film presents an innovative take on the creature feature genre, blending elements of horror and dark comedy. The narrative centers around a sinister phenomenon where individuals are mysteriously attacked and pulled beneath the sand by an enigmatic entity dwelling below the surface. The film features David Huffman portraying Detective Harry Calder, John Saxon as Sergeant Royko, and a notable performance by Mariana Hill. The promotional tagline, "Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, you can't get to it," cleverly alludes to the success of the iconic film Jaws. This slogan introduces a unique twist to the conventional beach terror trope. The peril lies not within the water, but hidden in the sands. Throughout the film, the characters endeavour to decipher the perplexing series of disappearances. They face continual pressure from city officials who insist on keeping the beaches operational, notwithstanding the lurking danger. The creature's origin and nature remain shrouded in ambiguity, enhancing the film's mystique and contributing to its enduring appeal as a cult favourite. Although Blood Beach did not achieve significant commercial success upon its release and garnered mixed reactions primarily due to its modest budget and the scarce visibility of the creature, it has secured a devoted following amongst horror aficionados. Admirers of the genre value the film for its distinctive premise and quintessential 80s B-movie allure. Regrettably, Blood Beach has not received extensive digital distribution, adding to its rarity in contemporary times. However, it continues to be celebrated at horror film festivals and is available in select streaming collections. Originally released on January 23, 1981, Blood Beach currently holds a 13% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a rating of 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb. The film achieved a box office gross of $2 million. For those interested in revisiting or discovering this unique piece of cinematic history, Blood Beach is currently available for streaming on the Plex app. Earthbound, a family-oriented science fiction comedy from 1981, epitomizes a rare and enchanting blend of humor and heart. Directed adeptly by James L. Conway, the movie narrates the captivating tale of the Million Family, an alien group composed of leader Zeph, his wife, their daughter, and a friend, who inadvertently crash land on Earth. This unforeseen event leads them to take refuge in a diminutive American town, where they strive to remain incognito. The plot thickens around the Millions' inadvertent adventure as their spaceship encounters a malfunction. In their endeavour to blend into the earthly surroundings, they form an alliance with Ned Anderson, a benevolent elderly shopkeeper. Anderson's guidance proves invaluable as they attempt to elude the relentless pursuit of a determined government agent. The charm of the film is particularly evident in the portrayal of the aliens' endeavours to navigate human society. Utilising their unique powers, they engage in a series of humorous and unexpected antics to address challenges and adapt to life on Earth. Earthbound effectively meshes slapstick comedy with poignant moments, underscoring vital themes of acceptance, friendship, and the harmonious exchange between cultures, even those as disparate as terrestrial and intergalactic. Despite this innovative premise, the film did not garner significant attention upon its release and remains a relatively obscure jewel within the domain of 1980s family-friendly science fiction. Today, it retains a nostalgic allure for aficionados of the genre, particularly those who appreciate narratives that are rich in gentle humour and convey a positive moral. Released on January 30th, 1981, Earthbound currently does not hold a rating on Rotten Tomatoes and has secured a modest score of 4.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Although unavailable on conventional streaming platforms, enthusiasts can access the movie through a fan upload on YouTube, with the link provided in the description. The Incredible Shrinking Woman, a science fiction comedy film from 1981, was directed by Joel Schumacher and features the celebrated Lily Tomlin in the leading role. This film offers a playful yet incisive critique of consumer culture and the societal roles assigned to women during the era. Although inspired by Richard Matheson's novel The Shrinking Man, this film adaptation introduces a novel twist by casting a woman as the protagonist. In the narrative, Lily Tomlin portrays Pat Kramer, a suburban housewife whose life takes an extraordinary turn when she begins to shrink after being exposed to a peculiar combination of household chemicals and consumer products. The process of her shrinking starts gradually but soon gathers pace, bringing about various physical and emotional challenges for both her and her family. As Pat becomes smaller, she confronts both the perils and absurdities of navigating a world designed for those of standard size. Meanwhile, her unusual condition captures media attention, transforming her into a celebrated figure while simultaneously highlighting issues such as environmental pollution, corporate avarice, and the role of women in a consumerist society. The film cleverly melds comedy with social critique, targeting the rampant consumption of mass-market products and the pervasive influence of advertising. Tomlin's performance is notably versatile as she skillfully portrays multiple comedic roles within the film, illustrating her broad range as an actress. Despite receiving mixed critiques initially, The Incredible Shrinking Woman has garnered a status as a cult classic over the years, acclaimed for its distinctive humor, pertinent social commentary, and Tomlin's stellar performance. Renowned makeup artist Rick Baker, who later won an Academy Award for his work on An American Werewolf in London, appears as Sydney the Gorilla in the film. Originally slated for release in December 1980, The Incredible Shrinking Woman was postponed to capitalize on the success of another Tomlin film, 9 to 5, which proved to be a major hit. Released on January 30th, 1981, The Incredible Shrinking Woman achieved over $20 million in box office revenue, equivalent to more than $76 million today, and doubling its production budget of $10 million. The film currently holds a 27% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a score of 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. The Incredible Shrinking Woman is available for viewing on Google Play and other streaming rental platforms.